This is my $400 BMW shell turned race car. I stole the motor from this car. Well, not the first motor that I bought with this car, but the second motor I had to get from doing donuts all the time. I got it off of Facebook Marketplace for $100, $50, whatever it was, in the middle of wintertime and towed it home on a lawnmower trailer. Put it in that car, drove it around for a while, and then decided I want to swap everything over to this car. Took it to some track days, did well for a year, and now, for whatever reason, our cheap motor that we just threw in without doing any basic maintenance to is broken again. Let's see if we can figure out what failed. I'm home early because I missed my friends.
No, you broke something. What'd you break?
Don't know.
Somebody tell me black cats are good luck, please.
Probably first the compression test. Just make sure it's not like a blown engine, blown head gasket, anything like that. Then after that, do a fuel pressure test. Make sure that the fuel pump is putting out enough PSI, even though it is a brand new aftermarket one. That didn't sound great, but who knows. Let's see what we got. Wow, just over 150. Not bad. Let's get that swapped out to the next one. 150 there as well. Right, 150 again. Oh, it is significantly less. That's, come on, I hope that's not the reason. Okay, that might be, my battery might just be dying. Over's there. All right, that one went all the way to 160. So I'm gonna go back to that last one. We might have blown a head gasket. Yep, that's a bunch of cranks. So that looks like bad compression. All right, so we've got some fogging oil. We're gonna spray it. It's nice to get the little spray it where you want it thing. So and actually get it right down in the cylinder and probably wash a bunch of dirt in with it, but that'll help bring the compression back up. So leave these two and the rest will be fine. It is funny though, because it was kind of it was at like a decent temperature the entire time. I'm just gonna put a tiny bit of oil in here. It was at like a decent temperature. Like it never went hot, never already overheated until I had to park it because it wouldn't run anymore and it wouldn't turn on anymore. And then since the water pump wasn't turning, the temperature started to climb. I'm stumped. I'm not a mechanic also. Rings are much cheaper than entire whole engine thing. All right, so that brought it to like 130, 135. So might be just rings. Oh yeah, the oil in that one sent it like up to 170, 180. So definitely bad rings. All right, I don't think that's bad enough to stop it from running completely. I don't think that's the head gasket. So I'm also gonna do all those other tests. So we're gonna do the fuel pressure test next. All right, so we've got our fuel coming from the tank through this line, also connected to our fuel pressure gauge here. Then we have it also just continues on to the fuel rail. Just gonna turn the pump on. We've got our little lone wolf thingamajiggies. Are we spraying everywhere? Doesn't look like it. All right, doesn't look like we're dumping any fuel. We're at 40 PSI, which is, I mean, Not perfect, but acceptable. All right, so I guess since that's okay, 40 is fine. I think it's supposed to be between 45 and 60, but it should still run even if it's not crazy high. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna quickly find and swap an ECU, and we'll see if that works. All right, attempt one. Put it over here. We'll try both of them. That's how you mount it. That's perfect. Okay. It's running now. Oh. Oh, never mind. That's fuel. It's running. It's running. We've got 40 psi. That's all the smoke just from the oil we had. The cap, you guys can all chime in. There's like that little extra line, maybe some residue. So we'll clean that up. We'll clean the rotor itself up. Gonna check our timing and make sure that that's all good. So, do my best Bob Ross impression with this and definitely cover everything else on the engine. I'm gonna crank the starter to just kind of spin it randomly. Hopefully nothing's too far off. Probably yeeted coolant everywhere, which is fine. So I'm in Shrek's house now anyway. Around again till we line things up, see how it looks. I feel like I'm losing my mind. I mean, I was definitely hoping it wasn't timing because that would suck. Okay. Yeah, it's like half a tooth off. Just to come to the conclusion that I am half a tooth off on timing, barely. Like, just barely off, barely on timing. So, I guess next thing to do is smoke test it. In essence, our smoke tester from Snap-on, as you can see. Hashtag, we're not sponsored. Be nice if we were, I guess. Pressure regulator, I think it's like 2 psi. 0.6 meter cubed per hour, whatever that means in English. We got this little spray paint cap thing, which will fit nicely into our intake. And it's filled with, well, not filled, it's got like maybe a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch of mineral oil in the bottom. And then a wick with some jumper leads we're going to attach to the battery from the MG there. And that'll basically heat up the smoke. Then we've got just that little bit of that 2 psi pressure, or that 0.6 meters cubed per hour of pressure going into the intake system. And we'll be able to look for anywhere where smoke comes out. That's where we have leaks. We've done this before on this car. But I'm kind of hoping that when we were driving, we didn't blow out a gasket or like a bolt rattled loose or anything, because it happened suddenly on track. It wasn't like it gradually happened throughout the day or the weeks. It was just running great, awesome performance all day, and then boom, I was parked on the side of the track, and we've been that way since. We are avoiding everything to check the head gasket. I don't think it's a head gasket, but we'll see. I mean, I'm trying it from below, but there is no leaks. There is nothing that I can. So I'm going to open up the throttle. Let more of that smoke into the engine. we have a minuscule leak on our charcoal canister block off that we made. There's just a bolt and a piece of hose. If I put a hose clamp on that, that'll stop that one. But man, other than that, there is nothing leaking out of here. But yeah, we'll get started on this. Bring you guys down eye level here. Alright, we are going to try to speed this process up just a wee bit. I should put the oil pan back under there, huh?
Your water broke.
A spinal fluid. I don't know where to, There's the blue one. And the cylinder rings don't look too bad. Tops of the pistons don't look too bad. The bottom of the valves, they have a weird like orangey kind of crud built on them. I think this was carbon deposits. We're gonna do some research and see if Scotch brighting that off is a good idea or a bad idea. All right, so that thing there, that's our Woodruff key. It is very dirty down here, so we might pull this cover off and clean that up. So I'll also have to pull that out, but that's good. That's safe. So that looks fine. So I guess now what we have to do is climb underneath, drop the oil pan, and drop this piston out. As you can see, like that cylinder does not look terrible, which is weird. This is what the head looks like and what the valves look like. So there's quite a bit of carbon buildup on all of them. I don't know what this orange stuff is. Nothing that stands out as like, ah. So should be okay. And then like I said, the cylinders all look fine. Woodruff key is fine. This is just gross. But for now, we're gonna climb underneath here. We're gonna pull that oil pan off. Wow, that is, something's leaking. So we've got our oil pan disconnected. Now we've got that one bolt there for the oil pump. And then, everybody's saying you have to like lift up the engine to get the clearance here, but figure out if I just wiggle this a little bit, I think we should be okay to reach these three. And then we might be able to pull this the rest of the way out. All right, so taking out the oil pan with the engine still in the car wasn't too bad. Just had to take the oil pump bolts out, drop that, and the oil pressure sensor, and let that drop in the pan, then slide the whole thing out. And now we have access to everything underneath, which is awesome. So we're going to disconnect on cylinder number 5, the rod end cap, the connecting rod end caps, or cap, and then we're going to push the cylinder out to the top, pick it out, replace the rings, and loop it back down. Or at least that was the plan until I took a closer look at the oil pan and found out it was just full of glitter. So we're going to pull the motor out. So here's our engine. It's out of the car and currently upside down. We're trying to figure out where the glitter in our oil pan came from. We've got all the connecting rod end caps off so we can access the bearings that connect to the connecting rods, connect to the pistons. These are the two. They're supposed to be like a nice metally color. Right? It's supposed to be this nice metal color. Most of them are like this copper color, which means that's where all the glitter in our oil pan came off, all those metal shavings. Also, what I noticed is they're supposed to be this kind of nice shape, nice, smooth, can spin nice and easily. One of them was a little bit deformed and completely, yeah, that's not how that's supposed to look. Okay, well, I guess that's our issue. We'll be doing an engine rebuild. We'll start those. I already was working on that for a different car, but we'll finish that build and we'll throw it in this car and see if we can get it for the ready at least for the 2025 track season. Have something to run and drive and have some fun with. So thanks for watching. Consider subscribing if you want to see if I can actually end up building an engine. Because if I can do it, you can probably do it too. I'm not that bright. And if you like the video, go ahead and like it. Again, thanks for watching.